Hey guys, welcome. This is just me spewing out my thought that just came to me about what the problem is that we're all kind of experiencing and why no one, everyone feels stuck and feels like there's no place to grow. And that's because we really are boxing ourselves in. Hopefully, no beep bothers me right now. And the reason I say this is I just felt like I had a thought where I was sitting in the middle of a room and in front of me and behind me and on the right and to the left, there are different views and beliefs, right? In front of me, there's the science. Behind me, there's the spirituality. To the left of me, there's the mystical, the magical, that type of energy, right? And to the other and to the right of me, there is the philosophical. You know, I feel like what keeps us stuck sometimes is that once we join one philosophy or one view of things, we get stuck in there, and we get so attached to that way of looking at the world that we are not able to see how different parts of different pieces can fit together and elaborate and show us just how vast the world really is. And the only reason I say this is because I know a friend who only follows the science, and I know a friend who only follows what's spiritual, and then I know a person who is follows the mystical. But imagine if you could sit in that middle and embody all three and know that there's truth in each piece, and each piece has a space for you. Each piece holds knowledge for you. How more expansive the view of the world could be, because each piece is right. The science is kind of what grounds you, but the science can only go so far because the human mind only knows what the human mind knows, what the human mind sees. And this for spirituality is great because it connects you to your higher self, right? But spirituality that connects you to your higher self, if it's not grounded in some fashion, it can only be experienced by a few. So it's like how to bridge that gap between the spiritual and the scientific together, but also the mystical. Mystical is often misunderstood. It's viewed as evil, but is it really rituals, all that stuff? Is it really? I think of the mystical more as like ritual, more ancestral stuff, like things that connect us more to Mother Gaia and the earth. That's kind of what I think of when I think of more mystical, ritualistic stuff. And I don't mean those really dark, evil things that do exist. Yes, they exist. Okay? I just mean, but for every good, there's always going to be a bad in this world. That's just what we live in, a world of duality, a world where of good and evil. That doesn't mean you can't use evil for good, but let God figure that part out, because He normally figures it out quite well. and, but yeah, kind of getting off track here, that's basically wanted to bring up. Like, we should figure out a way how we can bridge all pieces together. Like, if we're divided, then we'll never share the information we know. What if the spiritual person had the information that scientist needed? What if the scientist had the clarification that someone who is spiritual needed? Yes, there you can clarify spiritually through your guides, through your angels, through God, all that stuff. If you're and the mysticals, they got their tools that they use to connect with, to connect to their divine truth. But I'm just saying, we're limiting ourselves by keeping ourselves in a box, not being able to listen to the other person's point of view. And for those people who just like controversy for the sake of controversy, instead of really sitting in a space of let me listen, let me hear you, this is why I believe the things that I believe, and this is why I think it matters. We don't always have to agree with people, but we should be willing to listen to each other. And this is the reason I brought this up also, because I had a conversation with a coworker not too long ago. She is a Jehovah's Witness, and a devout Jehovah's Witness. She volunteers and stuff. She's doing her Jehovah's Witnesses thing, right? Like, she's here to play a part, and this is the part that she is playing. That is a role she's playing. She is solid and solidified in her beliefs, and I'm solid and solidified in my belief. I believe in God. I believe in Mother Gaia. I believe in universal consciousness, cosmic energy, power, chakras. You name it. I believe it. I don't know why I know this is true. I just know that it is true. Well, also because I've also meditated and I've experienced these things personally, but I can't tell someone what I've experienced physically. The beauty of my experience is that you have to experience it yourself, and there's ways for you to experience this. You know, meditation is real. Scientifically, it proves it. The more you meditate, the higher up you go. But I'm not only about the meditation, I'm also about, the mystical, you know, the rituals, like the affirmations. Affirmations are prayers. These are true. Uh, Crystals, the religious, the Bible, the Bible, I believe the Bible can help people. I believe the Bible can heal people. I believe the Bible can save people. I believe tarot can heal people, save people, heal people. I believe Jehovah's Witnesses can heal people, save people. God will use what God will use to get and reach the people he needs to reach, to heal their lives, to save their lives. That's just the fact. That's what God is. You can't say that God is infinite, but you think not having a Bible is going to stop him from reaching you. And what I just brought up was the conversation I had with the coworker. Sorry, getting lost in thought because I'm holding up this phone. She said, God created the Bible, and the Bible was able to help people and help, and what am I trying to say is, and her thoughts were that, everything we need is already in the Bible. And you know what? She might be right. Everything we need is in the Bible. I'm not saying that the Bible's wrong, but I'm sure there's a lot of pieces in there that are been written by men who have different motives than what God intended, but that doesn't mean that God still can't use that Bible to save and uplift and save people's lives, right? That doesn't mean that what was half of stuff that was written was wrong or not real or fake or fake or fake. Now, that half that was written was unreal or wrong or fake, but I like to do oracle cards, and I've done tarot also. But that doesn't mean my experience of using these cards is wrong and unreal or fake. And I think the counter to her that I had when she said that, yes, tarot can be hijacked by lower dimensional beings and energies and entities that want to push you towards an agenda that suits them. This is why it's important to ground yourself in the intention behind the work that you're doing, or the messages that you're giving. And then my rebuttal to her was, before there was the Bible, what did people do? How did people connect with God? How did people connect with God? Yes, you could, say I said, if you were an island that was undiscovered, and you hadn't learned writing yet, but you learned how to use chicken scratch on some stones, and you discovered runes. Does that mean that God still can't use that to speak through you? Couldn't the runes that those people wrote be the Bible that God intended for them to receive? You know what I mean? Like, God will use whatever God needs to use in order to reach the people that he needs to reach. And that, again, was the message that I wanted to share. And this bee is flying around me. I'm sorry, I don't do old bees. I'm in a bright-ass orange dress. But that was my message for you today. And, yeah, hope you guys enjoy.